Welcome to my channel where we cover the lore of Final Fantasy XIV. We cover the stories both big and small, the epic and the cute, the silly and the tragic. I hope you all enjoy the ride, and welcome to the Chronicler of Lore. While Y'shtola's sacrifice was noble, leaving you alone to fight Ranjit really wasn't a good idea. So far, all you've managed to do was bruise his fist with your face, but fortunately, Thancred, Minfilia, and Urianger show up. Since Ranjit's distracted, Urianger has time to use the healer's most deadly technique on the general: rescue. He yanks the man into the opening, and to make sure he falls, Thancred catches him with a jumping attack that he can't avoid because Urianger pulled him right into Thancred's AoE circle. So what did we learn today, kids? Don't use rescue unless you want to kill someone. Back outside, Almet has bad news. The hole is so deep that they can't even figure out how long the fall would be, but it's unlikely anyone could have survived it. So while Y'shtola's probably dead, Ranjit likely is too. Ulmed comes running up with some better news at least. The Umorans have left the woods and retreated to Lakeland, but they poisoned more of the Knights Blessed during the fight. One of them was found near Ixmaya, nearly dead. They brought him to Fanau, and while the Viera can't do anything for him, you do have the antidote. Since Y'shtola was willing to die to save her people, you and Urianger head to Fanau to heal the Blessed there, while Thancred and Minfilia head to Slitherbough with the rest of the antidote to help everyone else. The injured Blessed turns out to be Runar himself. He had fought the Umorans to help buy you time in the temple, and had got poisoned for his troubles. Fortunately, the antidote in Urianger's healing works on him. When he wakes, Thancred and Minfilia have made it back to the city, having cured the people in Slitherbough, and he immediately notices that Y'shtola isn't with him. When you tell him what happened, he does not take it well at all. In fact, he takes it far worse than you would expect. It's almost like his feelings for Y'shtola went deeper than just affection for a good leader. While you all mourn the loss of your friend, Almet and her sisters show up with an intruder, Eorzea. They captured him, but it wasn't in any great battle or anything like that. The Ascian was apparently sleeping under a tree and he woke up at spear point. Not knowing whether he was a companion of yours or not, the Viera decided to bring him to you before they poked holes in him. Needless to say, Thancred's not happy to see him, but you do share what happened since he asked. Retelling the story makes the Warrior of Light remember the strange gust of wind that came from the hole when Y'shtola fell. The same thing happened when she had teleported her and Thancred out of Ul'dah after the Scions were framed for murder ages ago, when she ended up lost in the life stream. The good news is, she's not dead. The bad news is it took a lot to summon her out of the life stream, and none of you have what it takes to bring her back. None of the Scions, at least. To prove that he meant what he said about working with you, Emmett offers to use his powers to bring her back. True to his word, the Ascian yanks Y'shtola out of the life stream, and even restores her glamour for her so she won't have to walk around naked. I don't know how many of the Scions would actually thank him for that part, but at least Alphinaud wasn't there to get an eyeful for a second time. He had enjoyed the last peek too much for Y'shtola's liking back in Heavensward. Everyone's happy to see her, but no one more so than Runar, who scoops her up in his arms and spins her around. The fact that she doesn't tear him a new one in typical Y'shtola fashion like she did Magni back on the Azim Steppe is proof that she may feel something for him too. We may never know. But all of that will have to wait for another day because you have more important things to do, like go to the Qitana Ravel and take down the Light Warden. What you did at the pyramid should have opened the entrance to the Ravel, and since Urianger didn't find any other likely spots for the Warden to be, it's time for you to get moving. The Ravel is the oldest and most sacred of the Rongan temples, so it contains the most of the nation's knowledge, and its strongest guardians. None of that will stop Y'shtola from studying it all after you see to the Warden, so since there's nothing else holding you back, you all head into the Qitana Ravel. Saying the place is heavily guarded is an understatement. Giant golems, monsters, and wild animals all make their home in the ancient temple, and despite not being entered for thousands of years, the security systems are all still in place, and they're extremely dangerous, but they're nothing you and your allies can't handle. The temple leads to the Raktika Falls, and there you find the Light Warden, a giant three-headed dog creature that does its best to eat you all. This is like the third or fourth time you fought some form of Cerberus, but I guess since there's a Void Scent version of Tartarus's guard dog, it only makes sense that there'd be a Scent Eater version too. Still, you take it down, making it the third Light Warden that you've beaten. Just like before, the light pours out of the Warden and flows into you, letting the night sky return to the Greatwood. The Warrior of Light seems to be fine, but Y'shtola doesn't think it'll last. The corruption of the light hasn't taken you yet, but it will, and she wants to at least warn you about what's happening to you. But she's not going to take away the joy of the moment with her worrying. Instead, she wants Urianger to describe to her what the night sky of the First looks like, because her damaged eyes can't make it out. Fortunately, one thing Urianger is an expert at is making his words come to life, and by the time you start making your way back through the temple, he's described it to Y'shtola so well that she can see the change as good as the rest of you. As you walk back through the Ravel without all the monsters trying to kill you, Y'shtola notices that the murals on the wall here are actually older than the Ronkan Empire. She can't see them the way you can, but she can see the age of the paints used, and they're far older than anything else she's seen before. She wants to know what events the pictures portray, but right on cue, Emmett Selk shows up to interrupt your studies. Y'shtola accuses him of plotting something since he keeps staring at you and asking odd questions about your health, something he doesn't even try to deny. Again, semi-immortal, super powerful beings have no reason to lie about their intentions, and right now he's just gathering information. When he notices the murals on the wall, he actually recognizes the scenes. They show the world as it had been before it and its people were broken into the 13 shards and lost their memories. Very, very long ago, the world was a peaceful place that didn't know hardship until one day something happened and their paradise was thrown into chaos. To save themselves from the destruction, the people of that world prayed and sacrificed to summon a being to save them. That being was Zodiark, and he saved the people from the calamity. However, others were afraid of Zodiark's power, so they summoned something else to keep him in check. Hydaelyn. The two fought for a long time, until Hydaelyn drop-kicked Zodiark so hard that she shattered reality, leading to the shards splitting from the source and the people being split into what they are today. That means that Hydaelyn and Zodiark aren't gods at all. They're no different than the creatures you've been fighting for years. They are the first and most powerful of the primals, and the Ascians were the original race of people who summoned them. That's why they are so set on rejoining the shards. They want to restore their home and their people, bringing back the paradise that was lost to them, and undoing the disaster that caused you all to be created in the first place. And that's where we're going to stop for today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. And if you want to buy me a coffee for my work, sign up to become a member of the channel. Until next time, guys. Later.